We're turning up for the cooldown.
Here we go, folks. It's ready. Action-packed. Mathieu, Cedric, Dan, Alex, and Nathan Schmidt on the side of Vitality.
And you didn't even have tough time to read the other ones.
Nor could I pronounce them. I'm not going to lie.
You did us a favor. I liked the rock music, though.
I did as well. It kind of pumped me full of...
That's the first time that they've used that.
Yeah. I mean, just wait to see what we have in store. You know, it's got to be an upward trajectory in terms of performance and production, and maybe that's what we're going to get from Valiance as well. Will this be the clean sweep or another close affair? So far, not working out here for the predominantly Serbian side. They are done for, toasted, roasted, forked, and sporked. It's only Alex down here in the pistol.
Little redundant there
win.
at the end, the forked and the sporked. I mean, if you have a spork, you don't need the fork, but whatever.
Right. I just like to dual wield.
You could dual wield sporks.
Akimbo.
You could akimbo sporks.
All right, I'm gonna bring it back down for a bit.
You could just do a fork and a spoon, and then the only thing with a spork is it just doesn't it's not cool.
I mean, they're sporks what you get on airplanes.
Usually a spork is plastic. It's disposable. You get it with fast food. Use it to save space. You throw it out, it has less garbage. But it's kind of lame, right? It's a spork.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's still stupid.
You're the spork of esports.
Okay. I'm surprised Sporky.
Let's just stop. Okay.
All right.
Esperanto has a scout. The rest of the players have pistols, and there is a selection of utilities surrounding those pistols here in the second round.
You're going to need to bring the energy up a little bit.
All right, I'll find the middle ground.
Okay.
They find a little bit of footing out middle. I'm all for that. We got that Colonel defense of Vitality up into the B bomb site. Very split, but still proactive as Vitality check out long.
But the B split is on. They don't have the tunnels split part of it, however. Now they fall back. Ooh. And they've left one of their teammates in a very precarious spot. I mean, he is so totally exposed to window, so maybe this goes extremely well. Or maybe we don't hear from Otto after this round. Let's see.
Yeah, they've just put him alone so he can't team kill. But Zai was going to drop that bomb as it tries to join him out mid. It's nice to see Otto getting the entry, but he turns his back to the killer.
You know what? He had a good thing going, and a player would have had a peak window to deal with him from that position. But the rest of his teammates weren't in a great spot to help him split, and they've gotten so spread out at this point that it's actually worked in their favor, folks. They are now working into B through tunnels.
Don't try to understand it.
Have totally thrown Vitality through a loop. That's a good spam.
Yeah, nicely done. And nobody's picked up that bomb, so MBK charges straight through off the flash. Fantastic play from Nathan Schmidt. That's Vitality's second in a row.
That was wonderful. That was good. The counter flash was there, but they were so proactive. They were so decisive. They were so immediate and deliberate that they got in the door as the flash was going out, and both players in the crossfire were blind. Beautiful stuff.
Fully blind. Fully blind indeed. So now here is the unfortunate circumstance for Valiance. It's the old pistol save. They'll splurge on a couple of P250s and even a double D. But Alex, we saw him doing this a lot versus Optic, that consistent mid to lower play. So if there's nobody spotting middle for Valiance, this is going to be a continuous issue.
I love it. I love it. Get really aggressive on these rounds. Lower tunnels in general, such a good place to push. So nice to double push upper tunnels. Love that. That's one part about the CT side of Vitality that I really enjoyed, was that they tried to abuse tunnels more than once. I haven't seen a Valiance play Dust2 just yet, so a lot for me to learn about how comfortable they're going to be on the map. We've got a simple setup right now. It's not the greatest guns, but they've got long control. They got their way up cat. There's 2 players at A. This is kind of what they would like to deal with. Zywoo's got an M4, and RPK's only got a FAMAS. And you know, if you have a FAMAS, you have a high chance of dying.
It's not too high of a hurdle for Valiance to try to leap over, but his position has an element of surprise, and it's for that reason he nets himself one. Esperanto, dirty deagle. And now it's the 2-man push-up from Catwalk that tries to best RPK, but he's the tank.
Okay.
Keeps his FAMAS on a swivel, holds his feet to the ground, and just locks it all down. 3 kills for him and a solid hold on the A site.
That was actually really nice with the FAMAS.
Yeah.
It's very good recoil control.
Oh, yeah.
We could all learn a thing or two. I think even though the FAMAS spray is difficult,
yep, it's
still somewhat tight.
Yeah.
It's just a really strange, it's a super strange spray.
It takes practice. It's a weapon that takes that practice.
8,000 hours I can't spray a FAMAS.
Chump.
Okay. It's looking for support. All right.
And call your mama.
Okay, Jesus. It's getting way too real. Molly goes down in front of the doors. Spam, not gonna join it. It's actually kind of hard to bank that Molly hard enough that it goes deep, and there, it didn't go deep. We'll try again with a new piece of utility. In the mode of a flashbang.
Very spread setup here from Valiance. All the map control they can take for free they have.
Yeah, Cat being the easiest, that is not always free.
Correct.
That's why teams go here first a lot of the time. A lot of times your default on Dust2 is 2 players going into tunnels, 1 to top mid to flash for Cat, and then players jumping from mid to Xbox to Cat to clear it out. And then if you're going to be in an A sped up, you go back to long, or you take long at the beginning round and go back to Cat. It's a very, very simple map in that regard.
Flashes go high. CTs sitting on the ramp and behind the boxes. They're luring them in, just wanting to spring the trap. Like a jack in the box, they pop right over the top. It is NBK to continue the spray, but Otto nearly gets away. Still, he is denied, and Nexa nowhere to be found as he's the last man up in a 1v4. His corpse hits the floor, and Vitality sit on 4 to the 0 of Valiance.
There was no last rhyme there, was there?
No, I was done.
Looking for it, though. I thought you were going to have it. But I like the setup a lot on the A site, where the only thing is that MBK's in a spot that can typically get mollied out, especially if you're going to take Cat. You just bounce the pizza nade, and then he's mollied out. But because they didn't throw it, he was fine, and he had a setup where RPK was right behind him. A double peek from that position looked terrifying. That's actually super hard to deal with, especially if you're crossing elbow. You really want to focus on one target. You're switching between the sight box, the ramp, and long. And those are all scary things. So to have 2 of those 3 things pop out at you at once, that'll leave a mark.
I'm afraid of these deagles, I'm not gonna lie. We've seen what Esperanto can do. I'd put Hunter up there if he's anything like his cousin. And Nexus dead, so he won't be doing much. RPK can't hold that door entirely. They've actually been able to slip right out, and sure enough, they'll combine forces to drop him. Zywoo still has support over the shoulder. That's Alex, who moves 1 foot closer towards the catwalk. Wicker Basket's not the best of cover, but he'll try to make it work.
Yeah, that's a really solid smoke on both sides. And the rotate's coming in hot at the moment.
Oh, that's an easy read. He knows there's 2 players here now. So the only question is, where is Hunter off to? He's got the answer, and now they'll just swarm the last remaining member.
Yeah, Otto's an easy feed. And they shut it down. Not too difficult. It wasn't, I mean, it was just pistols, so that's all that matters. 5-0 for Vitality, however.
Really flying out the gate. There's a really good article from HLTV about the meta changes, and they did an analysis on the usage of AUGs and SGs.
Yeah.
But also an analysis of the conversion rate from pistol wins, because Valve's goal was to make the pistol less impactful. And I believe winning a pistol and converting into a 5-0 start actually dropped something like 20%. So to get a pistol and get a 5-0 nowadays is actually quite rare, or substantially rarer than it once was.
Okay. Cool.
Go look that up.
That's a good stat.
Read a little.
I like that. Yeah, get educated.
I mean, HLTV are our saviors, man. They these guys put in work.
Yeah. What the hell is Counter-Strike with the HLTV?
Just a game. You know?
Yeah.
With them, it's a lifestyle.
It's just a game for kids. And we know none of these guys are kids.
Well,
I don't know. Yeah, I guess he's a kid. He's a big kid.
Aren't we all launitors?
RPK, and the K stands for kidden.
He doesn't want anything more. He bit off too much to chew in the previous round when he got rocked by those deagles.
I don't like what the setup becomes when he falls back to car.
No?
His teammate on the A site is now not in a safe spot to watch Cat. He has to sit here, which is easily Molotovable, or he can go back to Goose and not be of any assistance to his teammates at car. So RPK stands there, spots long, and now moves back to car and can only watch Cat. Zywoo's already doing that.
Right. And then you have this fourth player move over because they feel as though the threat looms near. And it's a ruse.
Yeah.
It's actually just the all-in on the B site. NBK from behind the car. The spacing plays off to his favor. He's looking for a 4-piece, but the damage is still substantial. 24 health combined is an easy pickup for Apex.
90 damage on those last 2 players as well. That's pretty amazing. What
Beautiful.
a hold.
When all the pressure's put on his shoulders, he still stands tall.
Absolutely magnificent. How rare is the 6-0?
That I don't know.
Okay. It's probably like ho-oh rare.
Shiny ho-ohs.
Hollow ho-ohs.
You're funny sometimes.
They hit it Xbox smoke. They hit it. I remember they missed it the last time. So this is to feign presence on Cat.
Right, and the thing is here too is once you've thrown that smoke out towards the box, like you have no smoke for the CT cross, so you're pretty much funneled up catwalk, in my opinion.
Molly out. 1 flash remaining. Zaiwu makes a free frag, and that was their 1 smoke.
That's what I'm saying.
So they're pretty much funneled up Cat. It's the only way that they can get out and have their backs against the wall. I mean, they could at B, but you still have to clear close left, you clear fence.
And this one, I feel like, you know, a Cat push as a cohort combined to the B push excuse me. It's a bit more of a Hail Mary over here on this side of the map. You got NBK and Apex, and they're ready to go. I mean, if NBK can hold you alone 1v4, then him and Apex, no problem. Just those Deagles dispatched of, and this is a clean sweep of a start. We are catching up on the schedule pretty swiftly.
The rule of 7-0 that it always becomes 7-1. Brazil memes always deliver.
They always find their way.
It happens every game.
Well, you want to hedge your bets? What do you got on this?
I will bet your life.
Oh my God. I don't think that's yours to bet. I mean, it's about you, but Jesus.
I'm willing to bet your life that Valiance will win this round.
See, now I'm curious, because if you're willing to bet my life, I'd like to know the monetary value of that. Like, my life or X amount of your money.
I couldn't put a value on your life.
Or you just don't want to tell me.
I'm just very confident.
Right. Okay. All right. I appreciate that.
Watch, I'm going to show you. All right.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
On control. It's the perfect thing to do.
And
Otto's going to come out for this pick.
ooh.
He did his best, you know. It's fine. The round moves along. And he's still in a pretty good spot. They trade for cat control. The CT setup was fishy at one point. Zaiwu just gets flashed off this angle. Nexa comes out for 1 kill, but Zaiwu's too damn good.
Yeah, I feel like this is just lackluster utility on a push like that. There were still smokes and Molotovs to be had, and I understand the faster pace they're trying to set, but look at the way these bodies have just piled up, one after another. All 3 of those deaths from Valiance have happened after this corner. Surely there was a better way to approach this attempt.
Yeah, there could have been. If they put enough pressure, on long control, then Zaiwu can't stand at Markelov, right?
Sure.
He can't opt the cross from that angle because it's unsafe, or he has to go and retake long or something or the other. But instead, they sent the op out to go for a pick. The op wasn't successful, and then they still went ahead with the rest of their strategy.
Right, yeah.
And that's how we avoided the meme.
Yeah, I feel like it would have definitely been a different story had Otto been able to grab that first kill. He had the opportunity, just couldn't with the fire at his feet and the smoke in his face.
Yeah, and that's good on Vitality, and that's why long control is so critical as your CT. If you can get it, because then you don't have to worry as much about Cat.
Another opening pick goes the way of Vitality.
It's pretty big too, playing spawns.
5v4 straight out the door, and NBK is down. There goes Apex. Finally, Valiance able to get themselves a slick entry into B. And the rotations are so far away as well. I mean, you just try to get some exits and bank in on the fact that Vitality have all this cash. You know, give them a round, make it costly, and hit them with the reset.
Nex is on the prowl.
Ooh, but I think he heard RPK.
Yeah. Oh, that's an easy kill. There it is. Make it a headshot, why not? Hunting down these players will count for something, but Valiance need to stay alive. They need to put the 2 in a row on the board. very fortunate to have won that round with 4 players alive, considering they lost the opening kill on the other side of the map and then got a double entry on B. They did surprise Vitality. Vitality had, it was either, I think, Apex or MBK, jumped up on Big Box to spot into the tunnel. And I mean, he was about 2 seconds away from being able to fall behind Big Box and be totally safe, but instead ate a flash, was caught standing up in the open. I'm sorry for betting your life. Getting tweets.
Thank you for taking my defense, folks.
This is why I do this. Well, I still gamble in real life, but this is why I shouldn't.
You say bowl?
Gamble.
Gamble.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I went to Macau with you. I saw it live.
It was short, but it was exciting.
Yeah, excitingly disappointing. Quick little pause comes to a conclusion. You were 1 round off, so I feel like, you saved me from the jaws of death.
You can't really spell Brazil with the 7 and the 1, with the 8 and a 1, though.
No, it's true.
That's not even where the meme comes from. It's just the score. But yeah, either way, I don't know. I appreciate you trying to save your own life.
I mean, someone's got to stand up for me.
Here's the flash for them to clear Cat. The most traditional Dust2 flash ever. Mid, will it be cleared out? Alex is here spotting with a rifle, which I personally, there is room for an op at mid doors, and there's lots of setups where it's viable, but the rifle can be more useful too, because sometimes if you think it's going to be a B split, for example, you'd probably rather have your rifle support as a player at the mid B, and also can easily rotate back to A. And also, if you're in a 2-1-2, you would like to have enough support at A, and that can come in the form of an op, as opposed to a rifle, without having to worry about rotates.
Oh, timing. Esperanto lucky to be alive, but his smoke's been flubbed. And then Alex gets the immediate duel versus Nexa here on mid. This does open up Catwalk for the push, but ZywOo's ready.
How'd that miss?
I'm not sure. A second shot also misses the mark, and the flashbang bounces back into his face. So they're going to have to give up this plant, and then the Catwalk after plant comes into the equation. But Alex has come into the bomb site silently, stealthily, sneaking his way up ramp. That's an easy kill versus Hunter. And then the peek off of Auto will trade it back. So at least Valiance on damage control. However, the trade's still into fruition to the favor of Vitality. It's Esperanto and Letny versus 4. Letny in the deep corner, cleared. Esperanto in no man's land. I mean, the bomb is planted fully for him, but yeah. I guess he wants those gun duels.
The smoke.
And he'll take the death instead.
No, there's a smoke right behind him, so he couldn't even fall back. It was just a really good smoke by the CTs. Like, there was just nothing they could do. They needed to peek off of something for the elbow guy, but that was the last angle they had to clear. So elbow guy's got to get tricky and either peek dry at an off timing when he feels like someone's charging towards him, or off the flash that they have to try to double peek and win the round. It's kind of a Hail Mary, but Vitality had won the round at that point already.
And I mean, that's what we call the French guillotine, because 8-1, 9-1. Instant hard reset. They're going to buy in with everything they can, but look at the cash left in the coffers. $500 for Nexa and Letny and a $50 bill for Hunter.
Luckily, they had the one round when they went B.
It was convincing,
4,
right?
So
imagine if Vitality got all those exits they wanted.
Yeah.
Whole other ball game.
So 4-1 setup. Looks like a late lurk to mid, or just some presence maybe to. People are doing these light executes into B and then just like taking long control, which is little new. Wow, that was a fantastic spray.
So swift, just cut right through the first 2. Good trade by Auto, sure enough, but ZywOo wants a piece of this pie. Esperanto within the smoke tries to catch him by surprise, and most certainly will, but Alex is there to trade straight away. 3-1 of just Letny left over, and he doesn't have a bomb to work with, Launders.
Yeah, you wonder what his MO was in this situation. If he was meant to, I guess he took some damage, so he probably tried to fight a little bit too early, and after that, well, decided there was no way he could get out unnoticed. But now that his team are dead, and the bomb's at long, rotates could come out. And here's an opportunity to at least get one. And he will do that. But with 25 seconds up, CT's aware of this. They only need to stay alive, whereas... And Letney does too, because they're not going to have money next round. They're not going to have any money next round. 4 seconds up. I guess this is a safe place to save.
So Letney grabs the AK, the single AK that will be. If you had to make the decision personally of having this, this raid boss, the one AK in a play, is there any particular setup that comes to your mind? Where would you throw the AK?
Where would I throw the AK to if he was a solo one?
Right, like he should
be totally spawn dependent. Like Dust2's spawns are so strong on T side, so I would either take a long I would take a long spawn depending on how good the long spawn was, or I would try to take it up fast cat, or like throw kind of a Hail Mary and go for a suicide run down mid into a fast cat.
I didn't expect them to buy here, I'll be honest. I thought they'd try to get that money back up, but I guess with
this is where they're seeing their double save, which is probably not smart to look at it like that, because they had money left over from last round plus this round lost bonus. So I don't know. Maybe they spent too much money last round.
I can't help but feel maybe they feel the pressure of this lopsided half.
Yeah, that can be it too.
Sometimes you just go for it.
A one rifle buy can be fine, especially if they feel like their money's not going to be in a great place.
Good collection of utility with it. They flash their way around certain corners. Clearly a Molotov here on Cat. Enough smoke grenades to just blanket their path to the B bomb site, where they will attempt to pinch. Again, Apex and MBK. We've seen this be a solid hold. We've also seen it fumble. So which of these two outcomes heads our way? Esperanto tagged up by the window. That's going to throw things into a bit of a mix. Nexa, well, he reveals himself by making noise, and Apex wants nothing to do with that lopsided fight, but oh my, free haircuts being dished out by the B bomb site. MBK will solo hold after losing Apex, and Alex with an angle over smoke just completely denies anything further. They have no footing on this bomb site. Despite so much damage being done, it's still 4 survivors on Vitality.
Zaiwu hit that shot through the smoke, just fully nuts, man.
Zai woohoo.
Zaiwu. Pretty crazy. They were locked into the B site where it's a strong position, but as T's outside of it, Nexa gets his 1 kill, but then they just have like support. There's so many ways to support from the mid B smoke, especially if you don't double smoke it up on the box. And Vitality abuse both angles, as well as the players who are within the site are still relatively safe. And typically you want to keep, a Molotov or a smoke, so that if it is going to be a mid-B setup, then you either smoke or Molotov the door, or smoke the door, Molotov the window, and hold tunnel. But if you have two people in the site, you could, for example, smoke the door, watch the window, watch the tunnel, get the kills, and be done with it.
Oh boy. Apex locking it down. Easy pickings versus these unarmored pistol players. Again, this is just this is a bit of a dismantlement. Starting to feel bad for him. You had an incredible overtime showing. You had a victory.
That's true. They could have been 2-0.
Vitality streak. Like this could have been, we could have been leaving the studio tonight with a very different narrative of what now this third map has given us. I feel like when you get completely stomped, if this game does finish in a very lopsided score, then it does kind of discredit some of the accomplishments from Valiance here tonight. Sure. They nearly won in the first map. Well, they stopped the win streak on Inferno, but if this is the last point, some people will remember this more than the others.
For sure, but that's, if they don't do well in the tournament, then then you can contextualize this loss with that. But that's why this shouldn't be weighted too much, because there's still the whole event left over. Right? They qualify. That's the only thing that matters.
Yep. Oy. Backs turned. Easy pickings.
Oh my god.
Nexa nabs a double. So we are getting to the end of the first half. Maybe the foot comes off the gas pedal. Great damage through the door. Sometimes Zaiwu just feels omnipresent, like he's always in the mix. But here comes Esperanto. Swoops downward and Goomba stomps the 2 CTs in spawn, and the last man's found out immediately. So here's the most convincing round we've had from Valiance, and it comes in the 14th of the half.
It's kind of interesting how that happens, and that it can be like a lapse of concentration
Right? Yeah, you get that close to a lopsided half, you just kind of...
It always happens, right? And it's not like they're... I mean, I don't know why they had such an opening at mid B in this situation, but Zaiwu was the first rotate as well, so Alex wasn't there, like, watching it. And maybe that's just because they called out that. And I guess that is something you can call out if a team goes for long control. They have 3 players there. Mid's going to be kind of open, depending on how the 2 players at B are playing it early on. So here's an interesting bout. Trades goes both ways. Oh no, trades don't go both ways. Auto just takes some damage. But Vitality are down to 1 inside of B, and Valiance are making their way out mid quickly. I'm liking the deliberate moves right here. MBK has a whole lot of work to do, and he can't even get the first kill, unfortunately. Probably would have been a round lost regardless, considering the positions, but...
Could have at least been 1 step closer.
Yeah, would have been one hell of a clip.
So it seems as though, at the very final hurdles, Valiance clears another couple of rounds. You know, there's a huge difference between 14-1 and 12-3. But that's exactly where we will end this half. The CT side begins with 8 rounds in a row. The reset pushes back the amount of buys for Valiance, and at least they pick up those last 2 rounds. It's something of a match here on our hands. But of course, the second half will be back after this break, folks. So don't you dare go too far. What had been an incredibly close series has now ended in what seems to be a lopsided affair, but I take that back because it's not ended yet. 3 rounds, and 2 of which come at the final 2 possible outcomes for Valiance Launders.
And it was Vitality versus Optic where they did the T side.
9 rounds.
We saw most of their T side.
Yep.
That they got 9 rounds. They did get 9 rounds.
They had a lot of good rotations on that T side. That's what I was most impressed with. You know, a lot of foot traffic moving through T spawn. So I'm excited to see what Vitality can do in the mid rounds. But that's just me.
Cat. Hunter's got the only kit on the rounds. Nexus here to spot the cross. And they have pushed kind of into long. Esperanto's got a lot of information. The 3B setup It's probably going to cause them a bit of worry at this point. They are still threatened by the thought that it could be a mid-B or tunnels push, so they can't exactly rotate freely. And a lot of this will come down to Nexa.
Yeah, not really blinded by that flashbang. He just continues to fall off the angles, tapping at the heads, but unsuccessful in cutting down the numbers. This wouldn't be the first time in this series we've had a 5v5 retake in a pistol. And of course, last time Vitality cleared it with ease, but it's now 5v3. And NBK looks to claw it back. Zywoo as well, adding a kill to the tally. There is support over the shoulder for NBK, but that's Apex now having to drop off and welcome Valiance up Cat, where the bomb was planted for. Instant damage, the Gushes connect, and so do the follow-up frags. That's Vitality with what could be an easy sailing into victory lane.
Yeah, that was a tough spot where Valiance were really gambling on either a mid-B or a straight-up B hit. If it was going to be one of those two, certainly they stomped there, but in this situation, the rotates are extremely difficult, especially no presence at mid whatsoever. That would be the easiest thing if they could at least see if someone had gone up Cat or on Xbox. Then they could potentially push through tunnels or come back through mid and then rotate that way. But instead, they had to really take their time, be sure that they saw the bomb. Nexa would have to be the one delivering all the information and fragging at the same time. And so the setup kind of bites them in the butt, especially when it's a full Cat play. Sometimes those gambles are kind of important. It's tough.
Oh, Hunter found the timing to get himself tucked away into the corner, but RPK with the crosshair placement ready for the peak. Of course, this was that double scout and trio of Deegs bought up by Valiance. Unfortunately for them, not too much initial damage dished out. Only Apex dropped to 67. Zywoo with what seems like one hell of a slick slide sideways past the tunnel entry. Pops the man in the back of the bomb site. NBK locks down mid. It really does fall onto Letny, and he wants nothing to do with B. He's gone right into NBK, it seemed. But little lapse in crosshair placement opens up an opportunity that's then swiftly shut down.
3-1. Esperanto with one. And a tight flick. Oh, I thought the bomb hadn't been planted yet. That could have been interesting. 20 HP. Perched up on the CT boxes. RPK waiting to pounce.
Ooh.
And pounce he does.
7 health the difference. All he needs. Le Tank.
Two rounds, and that'll be it. It's gonna, and the thing is, to get awkward buying decisions where Valiance would probably normally wait until they have full rifles, but here are not in a position to do that. They've got to try to fend off a match point at this point, so are going to buy what they can, and they forced up last round as well. And we're going to see forces all the way to the bitter end now, and we won't see a rifle round unless they win one of these.
Yeah, the bitter end it will be if they only come up with these 3 rounds. Esperanto dishes out the early damage.
You boost me, I boost you.
I'm surprised Otto still got up on that first jump.
That was pretty impressive.
I'll take it.
He's got Jordans.
Yeah, it wasn't slowed down at all. Man's got hops. Not bad for a Finn.
He's got hops like an IPA.
Scope down range. Nobody just yet. Apex rounds the corner. That's now 2 of these Ts sitting on 31 HP. And there are SMGs to wreak havoc once they get close. So Vitality probably just going to keep playing the old switcheroo, throwing those players in the front line. But man, these scout shots have dealt so much damage. Just Otto and Esperanto putting in all the elbow grease. RPK, however, looking to swing it back up close. There is Hunter, and he's fully blind. Pop flash goes wide. And I mean, Vitality just feeding themselves to the scout damage.
It was hard to move up. They were going up against the Great Wall with archers on it.
Yeah.
You know? That's tough.
Just getting peppered.
Legolas, just up there, taking shots, unlimited arrows in the quiver.
That only counts as 1.
And so, how are they supposed to progress? Remember, long is unfinished. That's why it's just
That's why it's just this corridor.
it's just the sniper alley.
Yep.
That's all it is. But like everyone knows, you go long on anti-ecos, so you could say it was a smart move.
Right.
But the thing is, it was a force buy,
Yeah, it wasn't that much of an eco, right?
and it was 2 scouts. Very annoying to have to try to kill scouts.
They're so fast.
They just fly
They're
around.
so swift. It's like dueling SMGs, but at a distance.
Yeah.
You know, and they pack a harder punch.
And on that note, bring back the jumping scout. I mean, you can still do it, but
It's not the same.
it's not the same.
It's not the glory days. Bring back the laser AUG while we're at it.
Og week.
Yeah. Best time of my life. Sadly. Big push from Hunter. This is aggressive. RPK, just that P250. I mean, he's the easiest pickup. Of all the players that could have been attacked by that MP9, he's probably stood the less of a chance.
If they're going to do that, I want to see more of this half. I want to see more upper pushes. That's what gets the people going.
Oh, Zaiwu, too honed in on mid.
For a decent trade from Apex. Could have very easily gone down, and no fault of his own. They've got options, but with the herd thinned, you can see that there is a thought to maybe push through long. Since they have that information, Apex, woof.
I feel like he had good chances here in mid, but, you know, fires off a couple shots, reveals himself, and now they should be more aware of it. He's still being given space to work with, however. That's the thing.
Here it is. They're going to anticipate this, aren't they? Oh, they're looking. But he's only got a P2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
This
Yeah.
opens up. Oh.
Suddenly, health advantage is just severely in the favor of Vitality. Flashes up and over. Otto is pushed into an awkward spot. Crouching on site with the scout.
This is a whole new can of worms.
Totally blind.
Shutting down that flank out long doors, I mean, that's huge. Like you said, the health advantage is massive.
I mean, he got destroyed. That was like double dink P250.
Versus an MP7. You know, Nexa tucks himself in the corner, think he's coming all the way around.
He took his time, too.
MBK just stutter steps the corner, jukes him out.
Yeah, he's like,
Whoa.
oh, I cleared it. Oh, you're there? Oh, bye. You're dead. Ding dong. Good night.
And just like that, we've got Valiance saving an AK and an MP9, as Vitality will now have 11 map and match points. They would be moving forward, securing their place in the playoffs, where 2 more teams will join them after a grueling week of Counter-Strike, Launders.
Yeah. Yeah, you've definitely got to earn your keep from this point on. But I think it's for the best.
I mean, think about it. If you come into this winners BO3 and you are the one team that moves through this winners bracket, you've got 4 days off. Like, you have a 1-day minor.
That's hype.
That's really nice.
That's a lot of pierogies.
Right. Imagine what ENCE will be able to do with this time. You know, they're going to be smoothing things out as they get into the playoffs. Sure, you know, the goal is not accomplished. You're not at the major. You haven't qualified for that. But you have 4 days of observing your opponents play through many games, getting a good sample as to where they're at this moment. Very relevant footage, and then you play them when it means the most. So this is going to be a big win for Vitality if they can pick up just one more round, and it seems as though they've got it now. An entry into the B site, a desperate rotate from Hunter, just looking to hold the cross on door, and he's smoked off, Molotoved off, potentially spammed too. Bomb inbound, hopes are high for the Frenchman. Not being given anything here. The footing completely ripped away. Continuous utility usage into the bomb plant. Now the damage can be dished back. Apex dropped to 22. He's just gonna hide and allow his teammates to do all the heavy lifting. Nexa, Esperanto, he's the last one on the menu. Sure enough, revealing himself from the windowsill and trying as he might, but it's just not there. A very close series that could have been 2-0 for Valiance manages to go to a sweep in the favor of Vitality. What a clinic performance they've given us here on Dust2.
Definitely. Yeah, there was a lot of interesting matches today, but the teams that were able to get through the winners matches have just like can breathe a sigh of relief. This is such a big victory for them, and they've got to feel good. They hit the ground running really with their team, winning DreamHack Atlanta, going on to do all their qualifiers, and now are at the minors. And you can see with MBK, especially with his Twitter, he's been pushing the team a lot, tweeting out every match, trying to build the brand as best possible. And you can see why he's been representing so hard. It's because he really believes in the lineup, and they seem to be delivering as well.
It's gelling nicely considering the time they've had together, but that's all the time we're going to have together. Launders and I will throw this over to the desk one last time today to unpack the final action.
Which is exactly what we are going to do. Scrawny and Launders, thank you very much. Couldn't say it any better than this. That was a vital win for Vitality, as we do see them secure this best of 3 and move forward here at the European Minor. It's been a long day of play, and they wrap that last map up in style.
Well, it feels like Valiance, for those who don't know the definition, is great courage or determination. It feels like they ran out of that on the last map, right? So the fact of the matter was they were very competitive throughout this. They pushed it further than I thought it was going to go. And then coming into this last one where it should really play into
volatile map as well.
Yeah,
right?
one where individuals should step up. It feels like they just ran out of gas in that regard, right?
Yep.
They're being dictated to. And we did see Vitality earlier in the day have a really strong CT side. And here they just had the same thing. They were just mowing them down. And the only time it felt like they were threatened was when they got a little bit lazy late. And obviously there was that contact round to the B bomb site, which was the first round that the guys from Valiance were able to get on the board. Otherwise, that's a super strong map for these boys at the moment.
Yeah, fitting way to end the game as well. Where Vitality just hit that B bomb site, finding that a little opening, the little gap. Seems to be a bit of a trademark already for them. And yeah, they finished it off. But yeah, in the big picture, I think you put it pretty well in a nutshell. I mean, it just felt to me like Valiance just ran out of breath, basically. And they got dictated far too many times in the sense that Vitality players were the ones that would just go, like, take a fight where maybe Valiance was thinking that they had the chance and opportunity to kind of regroup and wait for them to, like, set up for their smokes and stuff. And then you'd see, like, Saivu, for example, making a play, getting one kill, playing around with smoke, get another one. Those type of plays are really super frustrating as well on a T side to try and find the right pacing.
Yes, pacing is what we're all about here, taking it slow and smooth, but smooth is also going to be fast. And we're going to quickly, I should say, throw it onto the sidelines where we do have the treat of hearing from Alex. Let's see what he's got.
That's right, I've got Alex with me from Vitality after a very drawn-out game. Now, I'm going to start all the way back on Mirage. What went wrong in your eyes, right? Because at one point, it didn't even look like we'd be seeing an overtime in there. We thought you guys would have a confident try in it, and then it kind of started to slip away a little bit.
I can't really remember the first side because it was such a long time ago, but I know when we were on CT, it was just like a case of working out that they're just going to play like they were playing all game. Like they just kept on walking out everywhere, and it was just like really annoying. But we got the double snipes out, and MBK started playing retake, and we just won every round like that. So yeah.
Then we get to Inferno, right, where you'd had the 14-0, hadn't had a loss in it so far, and then it comes in. These guys managed to deliver it. They're obviously a very explosive team, but kind of from your ideas on the game plan, the tactical side of it, what kind of started to fall apart there for you guys? Because it was a bit more convincing from them.
We had a good T side. I think we were 8-7, and then we were like lacking communication, and everything was like really slow, and like Zaiwu dying from apartments and stuff without us telling him that he could die from there and stuff. It's just like everything kind of...
So you tell him he could die, he has to stay alive until that point.
Yeah, or no. But yeah, everything kind of went wrong on the CT side. I have a new position on the map and a new role on the map, and it's taking some getting used to. So yeah, I think we'll practice tomorrow and see how it goes.
Now, Dust2, you guys, we spoke to MBK earlier. He was saying very much a lot of your input has come into the performance on Dust2, and it still looks very strong. But one of the things I want to ask you, you just spoke there about a new role. Are you having to adjust quite a bit here? How are you finding the whole settling in and the differences from LDLC to here?
It's a lot different, actually. I have a lot of different positions, especially on T. And kind of the difference between Dust2 and Inferno is that I play my old position from LDLC, and that's how I'm bringing all the input from the old team, because I'm still playing my role and not having to adjust. And yeah, and generally, I mean, everything outside of the game's been really good, so it's making it easier to adjust in-game, but it's just going to take a bit more time because we only practiced for 9 days. So yeah.
Well, you put up some impressive results despite it only being 9 days. Now, I know MBK is still the in-game leader, but are you having a little bit more hands-on and bringing some more to the map pool and just changing things up for these guys as well?
I don't think me specifically, just the fact that I'm more confident on different maps to them sort of changes the map pool a bit. For example, Inferno, where they're all really good, but I have an important position and I'm not at the standard I need to be at yet. So yeah, we'll work on it.
Honest answers. Well, you've got this far so far, and it's looking good. So good luck for tomorrow and going forward. Back over to the desk for one last time. Alex had a lot to say about his tenure in Vitality so far, so we'll look forward to seeing what damage they can do across the rest of the EU minor.